Hello, everybody. Welcome to Astrology Unplugged. I'm Rick DiClemente of starself.com here in the Pittsburgh area. If you've not been with us before, we talk about astrology every week, about two-thirds the time, and about one-third the time we have some pretty good guests on. And we're always Thursday night at 8 o'clock Eastern. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can join us any Thursday by typing in Astrology Unplugged into Google and you'll get the link. Upcoming guest, pretty interesting. Let's see, tonight's the what? 10th. 2 weeks from tonight will be Leanne Fortunato Heltzel, and she will be talking about the quantum world. And I'm here to talk to you about that too. I'm going to stop playing around. We're going to talk a lot more about quantum, and I'm going to stop dilly-dallying about the fact that there's nobody here and there's just one of us. It's time to talk about it. You're not going to hear about it on TV. You're not going to get it on CNN. You're not going to get it from politicians. You're not going to get it in school. It's time to start talking about it because that's what's real, and that's what the great spiritual leaders want us to know. So we're going to talk about it. Even though I'm not a master at it, I got some ideas. So she's going to talk about the quantum, and she does fascinating things. She'll take you starting a business, and you're just starting, and she will take you to the business that's already started and tell you about it, and it will influence how you start it, since there is no time. And the quantum world is really pretty neat. So she's into that, and then November 7th will be Linda Veros, a Pittsburgh psychic, who will be talking about the rainbow. And she refers to the rainbow connection between your intuition and your heart and how to increase on that. So I think it's all coming together. It's going to be neat. And I'm really excited because I just got the go-ahead from Linda Hill out of Australia near Sydney. She is a master at the Sabian symbols, which means each degree of the zodiac has a meaning. And the original Sabian symbols were given to us in 1927. And then in the 50s and 60s, Dane Rudhyar interpreted them further and did a really pretty poor job. Well, this woman did a great job, and she's got a big book, and she wrote, I think, a masterpiece. And I got a lot of questions, and you ought to hear some of her definitions of these degrees, like the degree of your sun or your moon or of an event, and like Saturn and Pluto going to conjunct in January to 23rd degree of Capricorn. That's a brand new birth. You ought to hear the meaning of that degree, which I already read to you. But it's fascinating. I'm wondering, where'd she get this stuff? She'll be on with us November 21, just before turkey time. Tonight, I'm going to talk about several things, including an old book written by Rex Bills. I don't know if he's alive or not. This is 50 years old, and he put a lot of research into it. I only recommended about 50%. But in the book, you can look up anything. You know how Saturn rules the knees, and Venus rules the veins, and Pisces rules the feet. Well, he goes into everything. Games, trees, pictures, climbing, airplanes, whatever subject you want. He cross-references it to what planet rules it and what house rules it. Getting mad, getting sad, falling in love, getting married, getting swindled, being in sync, all these principles. He did what he could, and he talks about these things are ruled by these planets and these houses. And I think some of it's kind of way off, and I think some of it's very interesting, but it's a very good place to start when you're trying to translate something. For instance, you might have a sycamore tree fall down, hit your house. And then you would want to know what planet rules sycamore. And you would look it up and probably see that planet affecting your chart. Now, you two are going to sit in there, and you're going to get in trouble, aren't you? Huh? He sits with her because he wants to beat her up. Go on, I just fed you. Okay. The Linda Hill book, I just got it on ebook fashion, and it's just remarkable. And there's the doctor. I'm glad she's with us. I feel okay now. Anybody get sick, we'll be all right. Okay, tonight is about things that have been growing in my mind a lot lately, and I've been just wanting to talk to you about it. You've heard bits and pieces about it, and I want to explain a lot more about. Okay, we're going for it now. I told you I'm not fooling around anymore. There's one of us. Okay, I don't understand it. This sure looks like a separate body to me, but it isn't. This is not some hippie line. It's some lyrics from a song by the Fifth Dimension. Okay, it's 2000, almost 2020. It's about time we start living and identifying with who we really are. Okay, I know so many spiritual people that tell me they're stuck because they don't know what to do. Well, there's the problem. There ain't no you. How you gonna figure it out? There's no way to figure out what you're going to do when you're not there. And all the great spiritual books talk about you're just watching your life unfold. I decided today when I got up, I'm going to watch myself all day. I'm going to watch it unfold. I'm not going to put any input into it. I'm not going to put any suggestions. Boy, I need to get this done. And today was just absolutely effortless. It just all unfolded in front of me. It's real easy to shake your head, and it's real easy to agree or disagree. I got to mute her. She's going crazy over there. What sign? While I got you there, what's your sign for me, doctor? What sign you go? Oh boy, here we are. Stop fighting so hard against things that you have no control over. Okay?
Yep,
see, perfect timing. Perfect timing. There is no you. There's no you. And that's really will get you put into the loony bin, won't it? I don't care. I'm getting older and I just don't care. But I do have some inklings to it. Okay? I've got some inklings about it. Now, I'm going to talk about some stories. This is storytelling time. I have a client that has a daughter. And the daughter married somebody from the Middle East, and things did not go well. And unfortunately, a child got involved. So they're fighting over the child. Well, the male, we don't have a birth date, not even a birth date. And the woman, I got a chart for her. And the problem was he was threatening to kill her because he wants the child back. Okay, now many astrologers will go into where you're being threatened, what house in the zodiac is going on here, what's going on here, what's going on here, what's going on here, blah, blah, blah. I don't listen to it. I mean, I hear them and I got compassion, but I listen to the Course in Miracles, which tells me that you will be attacked if you believe you should be. If you believe you deserve to be attacked, you will be attacked to the degree that you believe you deserve it. So I've been working with her mother and working with the girl, and I'm saying, look, I'm not going to come and talk to him about his gun. I'm not going to get involved with the police, but I'm telling the girl, I'm trying to get to the girl. You got to do the work in the area that matters, and the area that matters is deep inside. You got to pull it out, and that's the part of you that believes that you deserve to be abused by this man. And poor went through some dangerous week after week after week. We went through it and the guy backed off. She's making progress and the guy backed off. And she would call me and ask me about this thing and this thing and that thing. I kept telling her, I don't want to talk about nothing. We're going to talk about, do you think you deserve it? Why do you think Trump gets away with murder? Why do you think he gets away with so much crap? It's unbelievable. It's because mainly he believes he doesn't deserve any flack. He believes it. I'm not getting my opinion involved. That's one of the reasons it keeps going on. Okay. So anyway, the girl's doing a lot better because she's inviting him nowhere. I will not talk about this guy with her. I told her, quit bringing up his name. Deal with him the least amount that you have to. And then the quote universe will take him somewhere else to bother somebody else. Go on and get down now. Go on. I got a little pest here. See, if I feed him early, I get in trouble. If I feed him late, I get in trouble. Okay. So that's really a good example. I had a woman one time being sued by her boss. Bah, 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 bah. She was a secretary. Somebody embezzled. He was not accusing her, but he was blaming her legally because she should have kept track of it. He was a really nasty Taurus type, and he wanted his money going through her. I said, the reason he's getting near you, and the reason he's threatening you, and the reason you've been sent to me, is a big deal. Because it means you're ready or you wouldn't look. Big deal, big plus. So eventually I talked to her and discovered that she had a really bad relationship with her father. Low self-esteem. She felt she deserved it. So this guy's just playing the role. So I forgot about it for a while and I talked to her and all that. And after a while she called me back and she said, the day I decided to go, I forget what she did, went to father's gravestone, had a talk. The day she gave up this feeling of low self-esteem, he called her and said he's dropping a lawsuit. They're directly involved. They're directly together. This is the quantum universe. This is the new book, The Intimate Zodiac. That's what it's about. They're directly linked. And the problem with it is we're getting so much crap. You need to do this. You need to go get money. You need to go get a car. You need to go get a lawyer. You need to go work out. You need to go buy some food. You need to go breathe this. You need to go inhale that. It's just wrong. It's the wrong level to be working at. The wrong level to be working at. Go on now. I'm not going to put up with it. Go on. Okay. Got a very, very good friend. Many, many, many years ago, Marshall walked into the bar that I was sitting at and told me he had a horrible motorcycle accident. 1973, devastating. One of the top men on the gymnastics team. Lost his leg, almost lost his life. Almost 50 years now on one leg. So I'm with him through all the years and through all the years and through all the years, and he's suffering. And through all the years, he did not use a prosthetic. So his body and his spine started to get out of whack, and he has had like 10, 20 operations, and he's suffered and suffered and suffered and suffered. Miraculous how he can stay cheered up and cheered looking forward and all. And I finally went, wow. I said, Lenny, oop. I said, so what? I said, what happened the day before the wreck? What happened the week before the wreck? That's what matters. What were you thinking that day? What were you thinking that week? And what had happened? Oh, that was the best week of my life. I fell in love with this woman and we were living together and it was just great. I remember they were very tight and getting along and all that. And then it all, two and two, came together. He wasn't allowed. He wasn't allowed to be happy. He wasn't allowed to be happy. The saboteur came out, nearly killed him, brought a truck out onto the road and pulled in front of him, almost killed him. They're directly linked. Because in his childhood, he had gone through a lot of whatever that taught him that he deserved to suffer. He was programmed, he deserved to suffer. And one night, he's always so cheerful. And one night I got him 2 sheets to the wind, and he kept telling me how he deserved to suffer. You got that mantra going on. That's what caused the wreck. It wasn't enough of a wreck to kill him, but he did live. But I've worked with him, and he's not ready to give it all up yet, so it's his thing. But it's fascinating to see how these work. This is how it works. It's not out there. I'm going to keep harping on it. Forgive me, Len, if you didn't want me to tell that story, but I think it's a beautiful story, and I'm not going to go through video editing to fix it. Okay. I got another woman. I won't mention any names. I'm working with this woman who's divorced a guy who's been very mean to her. A child is involved. The father has brainwashed the child, and the child is now living with the father. The father is very abusive, very selfish. Keeps telling the child that he's going to murder his mother. I tell her, listen, we're not going to talk about Mr. X here. We're not going to talk about Mr. X. You can make him alive if you want to, or you can send him back to the death pile, which is where he really lives. So it's been months and months. It's really been years and years and years, but months and months, and things are getting better and better and better and better and better because she divorced him. She's getting away. She's not obsessively thinking about him all the time. And what is he doing? She comes to me, oh, he did this and he did this. And I go, he did this, he did this. I don't want to hear about it. We're not going to maintain him. We're going to talk about you, how you deserve to be better, how you deserve to be treated better. And now she's getting a good job. She's getting recognized. She's coming into her own again. And that's how it works. Now you can get into a particular planet. And a particular planet will talk a lot about, yeah, it's absolutely true. You could talk about the energy type that's going on. Like if it's Pluto, I saw a guy, a friend of mine, and let me tell you something. Do not ever lift thy head upwards and yell to the universe to F me. Don't do it, because it will. I find myself every once in a while slipping, and then they go, oh, I didn't mean that. Bring it back. Don't say F me. You'll get F'd. Truth. Truth. I got a guy I like to visit, and I don't like his wife. And I like him. And so I have the choice of driving to see him and going the whole way. Oh, I really didn't want to sit here and have a good time with him, boy. And I don't do it. And I consciously say, I'm driving to see X, and I don't want to see Y, but I want to run into Y, and that's okay because Y's there, and that's all right, blah, 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 blah. But I'm going to get to see X, and there shall be no problems. And running. You got to do it. You got to do it that way. The unconscious is slippery. It will sneak in. Oh, but I really didn't want to have it. See what I said? You can't. You got to make it conscious. So I'm becoming much less of an astrologer and much more of a quantum mechanic. I don't know. I don't know what you even call it. But that's how it works, huh, Doc? Yeah. Okay. Deborah Myers, haven't seen you in a long time. Unwrapping Stress. What a great name for a business. Okay. I know a woman. Okay, now we're going to get into the Rex Bills book. Okay. Because Pisces rules the feet, and Uranus rules the ankle, and Saturn rules the knee. And Jupiter, I've been having so much trouble with my hip, and all the planets have been bombarding my Jupiter for the past 2 years. And Jupiter rules the hip and the thigh. So that's where it's coming from. Moon rules the stomach. Mercury rules through here. Martian people always have head injury. Venus, Taurus, the neck. So, a friend of mine fell in a hole, tripped in a hole, her ankle, when she broke her ankle. Well, it doesn't just happen that, oh, I fell in a hole and broke an ankle. What it means is something Uranian, because Uranus rules the ankle. She did not break her knee. She didn't break her wrist. She broke her ankle. Ankle always means independence, ability to be yourself. And when I interviewed her and talked about her, what did you do today? What have you been doing recently that you're not allowing yourself to be free? Oh, nothing. What did you do? Oh, nothing. What did you do? Oh, well, there was this one thing. I wanted to go this, wanted to go on this trip, and blah, 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 said I couldn't go, so I didn't go. So what she doing? She walking down the street, mumbling to herself in the unconscious. Boy, I just got mad. I should have went. I really wanted to go in that thing. Whoop! Fall in the hole. That's how it works. That's how it works. Period. So think back to yourself when you have had major accidents, when you have had big problems. Think about your friends. Take your time. Think about what you were thinking about that day. Elbow is definitely Mercury, Gemini, Mercury. That the Mercury Gemini that goes from finger to finger rules talking. So you didn't allow yourself to say something. You wanted to say something, but you stuffed it. Now you in Magic Land out there on you may not understand on YouTube. Those of us are live can see each other's names, and we can also chit chat, send messages to each other. So while I was talking there, a message came up that said elbow. So that's where that comes from. And if you're on live, you can message anybody else with this Zoom software. So a lot of times Mercury or Venus, problems with the throat, people with throat cancer a lot of times, is because they got something to say and they won't say it. My mom and dad raised me to not say nothing. I'm not sitting in judgment. I'm just telling you how it works. What do you think Aries, when Aries get in accidents, 9 times out of 10, they bump their head. 9 times out of 10. Or Mars hits you. Mars ruling Aries. Venus. Mercury. We don't know what the Earth rules, so if somebody gets born in the space shuttle, we'll finally know. The Earth would roll something through here. The moon rolls your breast and your stomach. Mars, head. Jupiter, the hips, the major big muscles that move forward. No, not the intestines are definitely Mercury. The intestines are ruled by Virgo. That's the number one illness I see through all the years are Virgo people with intestinal problems. Sometimes stomach. The number one illness I see, and that's because they don't flow. They don't flow. You see, the body, according to the Course in Miracles, the body is neutral. Oh, my body's going to attack, and oh, that tumor is going to come back. Oh, the body doesn't have any ability. It does what the mind. You guys keep sending me texts, and I can't take the time to read them. I'm sorry. The body is neutral. If I run around screaming, I don't want to hear that anymore, especially times the emotion involved, I will start to go deaf. My body says, God, I'm trying to do you a favor. I offered you earplugs, you didn't hear me, so I guess I'll just start unplugging your ear. The body is a response to what the mind does. Look at the history of all of us animals with tails and animals, how we've evolved. It's all an evolution from what the mind is encountering. All of it. Jupiter, hips. Saturn, really complex. Saturn, hard parts, kneecaps especially, bones, teeth, joints, skin. Why skin? Because Saturn has a ring around it, and the skin is the ring around your body. It contains the whole body. Uranus is very, very accurate between the knee and the foot. Calf muscles, calf strain, Charlie horses, and then high ankle sprains. The foot definitely is Pisces. When the foot is injured, when someone has a foot problem, it is always a spiritual crisis. Always. The foot, I think it has to do, I've given a lot of thought to this, I think it has to do with what are you standing on? Are you standing in your truth? Are you standing in your spiritual life or not? And that's why the Pisces people have tremendous history of feet problems. Also, when you're ruled by Neptune, as Pisces is, there's a very strong chance, and I'm not a doctor, but when Neptune's on you, when somebody tells me I've been to the doctor and I got these symptoms and the doctor saw the symptoms and they're making up stuff and they're giving me these drugs and they can't find anything wrong, that's Neptune. 90% of the time, there's nothing wrong. It's just that your body is becoming hypersensitive during a Neptune transit. You're becoming allergic. I remember going from allergic to cats to not allergic when Neptune went over me once. Now my allergy is very mild with cats. So that's really the advantage of using Louise Hay's book, which I couldn't find. And let's try to find it here. I've already talked about depression. Louise Hay's book, here it is. We have it here now somewhere. Louise Hay, who just recently passed away, marvelous leader spiritually, has a major, major book called You Can Heal Your Life. And in this book, you may agree or not, but it's pretty darn close, I found. She has affirmations. So if your liver's hurt, there's something you're thinking that is discordant with the support of the liver. And then she gives you a reversal affirmation to turn that around. If it's the knee, if it's the thigh, if it's gallbladder, whatever. She's got all the parts of the body in that book. That book is really highly suggested. Okay, and mine's hiding from me somewhere. It's one of your major books for your spiritual library called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And you can go to Hay House to get it. Hay House. If you would like to get that, it's really a great book. Okay, so other things I have in my notes, which are pretty darn neat. I got a friend of mine who's had 3 concussions. She is a nurse. She has fallen down 3 times. She wants me to know what planet is making her fall down. I looked at the planets in her chart. There's no planet making her fall down. Oh, see that person there? Let's make sure they put a log in front of them and fall down there. Yes, I've already done that. Thank you. Yeah, I've done that one before. Okay, that was a note from my better half. So this person has got a lot of Virgo in them. And I said, I know why you're falling down. No, you don't. I know why you're falling down. No, you don't. Yeah, I know why you're falling down. Because you won't let yourself go forward. Virgo is a tough sign. beside the fact that her father was a minister. I always have to do what I should do. That's a very powerful albatross around your neck. I always have to do what I should do. Well, I ask you very bluntly, where did should come from? Who? Machiavelli? Who'd it come from? There are no shoulds. But see, when Virgos start to operate and allow themselves freedom, they feel guilty. So that's what she's doing. She's caught between, I'm freeing myself, but I can't. I'm freeing myself, but I can't. And that kind of action really raises hell with a body that gets confused and it trips and falls. And it even brings you an astrologer to explain it to you. And you're still doing it. So after I talked to her, it was two, then she had a third one. It's really affected her. It's very sad. But everybody's got their karma, and I've had to let it go. Again, think about your life. Think about right before you've had a bad thing or a good thing. When you've had all this great stuff happen to you, it's almost always directly the day after or a minute after you let go of something. That's just how it works. I'm talking to a woman now in Lebanon. She says, oh, can you tell me about dating and love? And I go, yeah and no. Yeah and no. Are you holding on to some junk? Then love's not coming. Codependency might. Love ain't coming. Are you letting go of stuff? Then it's coming. Doc, my whole job's getting easier. That's all I can say. It's just how it works. My mother, bless her, she's passed away. My mother was in her car. She got rammed from behind twice on a bridge in the same spot, the same part of the bridge. Years apart, car, you have to stop as you're yielding, and look back. 2 times somebody ran in behind her. That's not an accident. That's somebody saying, get with it. I'm going to get with it, but no, I'm not. I want to get with it, but no, I'm not. I want to go because there are plans I got. I got plans to go, but no, I'm not. I got to go, but I'm not. Do you see? What happens with that energy? What? And the person that hits her has their own problems in their chart that day. That's how it works. So I would like for you, I'm going to pass out some homework for next week. I'm allowed to do that. You don't have to show up. Come back to me with some stories of things that happened to you. Did you have to point a point there, Karen? Go ahead.
I can really speak to this one.
I know you're in there going.
I am a Leo Virgo.
Yeah.
And in the past 2 years, I have 2 toes that I have broken 4 times.
Oh, God.
I have a little toe right beside it that I stubbed. And I've been going through and sorting all of this stuff in a place I didn't want to be, and I didn't want to do it, but I didn't have a choice. And when I completed it and I finally really moved forward, I've had a total change.
Okay, now stop. Hold on a minute, because you got me. I was with you, and you got me confused there at the end.
Okay.
All right. You started to do what, and you stopped yourself. What did you start to do?
Where I stopped myself is I wanted everything to be perfect before I put this house on the market.
Well, you got a whole lot of more work to do till that happens.
It isn't going to happen, and it's
It
okay.
is a spiritual crisis. Don't
Correct.
tell me about your house again. It's a spiritual crisis. It's the foot. So how did that happen? What were you doing spiritually that you were stopping?
Letting go.
That's it. And it's not easy to let go. You start to let go and you hold back. I mean, you're making progress inch by inch. So did you find as you started to let go more and more got better?
Yeah. And the real breakthrough came last week when I just didn't care anymore.
Oh, right. That's terrific. That's just fabulous. That's
I,
really fabulous. And that's why this whole thing about quit smoking and then starting and then you quit and you start, it's all positive, just like with this. You go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and eventually you get there. That's fabulous. And all those times that you failed is what led to the success.
true. Because every time I learned I had to forgive myself and
Yep,
let go of that guilt.
yep,
And I continued to
yep.
work through that cycle. That's when I told you I didn't know how to describe what happened, but it was major and it was massive, and I felt the shift.
Well, what I want to know with you, and this may be hard to do, those of you keeping daytimers have an advantage, but it's always really good to look at what was I actually doing that day before, just before I broke it, or the day before, or the week before, and you'll constantly see it. And everybody starts with, "Oh no, yes you
I
do,
was
oh no,"
I do know because it happened on the same thing every single time
there
except
you
for
go.
when I stubbed my little toe. And
And and that's why you didn't get hurt worse. You only needed a little warning. You didn't need a big one. You didn't need your foot cut off. So that's why you got a minor warning.
I was rushing and carrying stuff from point A to point B, trying to pack, trying to do this, every single time.
Hmm. And what does the inner self say? It says, "I don't want to do this."
Hmm.
And the Virgo says, "Oh, just shut up. We got to get this stuff done. Got to get it done. Got to get it done. Got to get it done."
I
Well,
have a few.
wonderful story, Karen. Thank you.
The thing was, I have a few things left to do at the other house, like get the paint spots off the floor, just kind of be nice.
That's okay. That's fine. You know
Yeah,
what I do when
but
I'm
I'm
working.
not frantic to rush back up the road
That's
and do it.
exactly what I was going to say. What I do with Virgos, and I work so hard with them, is I don't tell them go from a perfectionist to a non-perfectionist in one night. You can't do it. But what
Mm,
I try to work with them, and I really have had a lot of success, is take the franticness out of it.
yeah,
Gotta get the dishes done. Gotta get. Oh, you don't. I sure would like to get those dishes done. There's a real big difference. And you just kind of, psh, psh, psh. You got to
mhm,
God bless them because they're full and they're pushed by this archetype, which makes them so pure. They care to work to make things better. Okay, okay, but you don't need to work because it's already perfect. It's already fine. So what do you do when it's already fine? What's your job in the world when it's already fine? Hmm, I ain't talking about that. That's a good one for you guys to think about. Good problem. Why do so many people during Pluto transits have how? This is no joke. Why do so many people bend over and drop their toothbrush in the toilet? They drop their iPhone in the toilet. They have problems with their plumbing. It is very, very common during a Pluto transit
really.
because the Pluto transits are, and that's what the United States is going through, the big Pluto transit, elongated one, because it's about getting rid of the junk, getting rid of the junk. And if you're not getting rid of the junk voluntarily, we already know that if you are, things really get better faster and faster. They really do. But if you're not, you'll start dropping things in the toilet. And you'll start having pipes explode because it's symbolic. The toxic stuff needs to be sent out. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay. People getting walked on. One of the most, I got Pluto square in my Mars right now. It's been going on for 2 years. And that's a tough one because Pluto squaring your Mars, if you're not assertive enough, it will bring people in your face to be very not nice to you. Over and over. Pluto Mars. Pluto's testing your Mars. Is your Mars macho enough? Your Mars needs to be macho. That part of you. It needs to have testosterone. It needs to be aggressive. And if you're not enough to the point that you're taking care of yourself, Pluto will walk on you. And that's why when I deal with people like under these kinds of transits, I don't talk about the bully. I don't talk about the husband. I don't talk about the husband that wants to shoot you. I don't talk about that stuff. I talk about you standing up to it. You don't have to be a maniac. Just stand up to it and say, no, this is not going to happen anymore, and I don't deserve it. But it's amazing how many people feel that they do. Okay, I would like to stop here. I could go on and on. You had a major breakthrough of learning how to say no to my adult kids. Darn right. Darn right. I'm not sure which Linda's talking, but it's a Linda somewhere. Yeah, I think I know now. 1 second. 1 second. You make what you defend against, and by your own defense against, it is real and inescapable. Lay down your arms. Okay, now that's a higher dimension. This is along the same lines. Man, when you pick up the course, you take a truth, you take a statement, and you may as well go up 19 octaves and start there, because that's what a course is. It's some intense stuff, and that's why so many people read the course and they put it down, and they read it and they put it down. Tough stuff. Okay, I want to look through our list of management. Okay, all right. I'm going to open the phones up. We're on live. We're being recorded. If you would like to ask a question or talk about something that's related to do this, raise your hand and we'll get to it. Susan? No, she says no. I always go to Susan first. How about Jordan 1? Got something, Jordan 1?
You want me to talk about what my health thing that I thought of, or anything in particular?
I think you just give us a nice little story.
Well, here's my nice story, and I kept
Tell me your nice story.
I kept thinking about it the whole time you were talking, because I mentioned last week that I comment on a blog that serves people who have been in bad relationships. Oftentimes relationships with lots of betrayal and abuse. And people hang on to these relationships like you wouldn't believe. I mean, they obsess over, what are they doing now? Do they love the other woman? Do they love the other man? Are they going to last forever? I mean, and I keep saying, like, I call it mental no contact. You have to stop thinking about this person. And now I understand exactly why that is. And, you know, I feel like so validated in because for me, once I stopped thinking about that stuff, my life got so much better. And you were instrumental in helping me get there and doing all that stuff. So I think that this is a message that lots of people, especially in bad relationships, can take, for a moment to forget the physical ailments we get into. But if we correct our orientation to the world and understand that when we stay hooked up to things that are unhealthy for us, and for me, the extension to this that I haven't worked out is the eating piece. When I'm thinking about sugar, I'm actually thinking about that stuff, and now I'm like wanting it to come, making it come to, so like I still have to process that. But I think that in relationships, in terms of, I used to tell myself I can't stay on my syllabus, for example, like I'm always off syllabus. And this semester I said, well, you can stay on your syllabus. And now I'm on my syllabus. And I need to change the syllabus. So I just changed it today. I thought, well, I need to change it. So I feel like it's not, I don't know. It's just all a way of thinking about, how do we live in harmony with what's around us?
We can grant ourselves freedom much more than we think we can, and more than we think we're allowed to. And we're allowed to all the time. Nobody's not allowed. It's just this Christian or religious stuff that we're brought up in.
And we think that, we give other people, who are really just extensions of ourselves, we give other people all this power as if there's one particular person in the whole world that if we don't have that person or talk to that person, that our lives are blighted or ruined. And, get a relationship with yourself.
Well, it's just sad that we're just brought up. Parents are thinking the schools are raising you. The schools are thinking that the parents are raising you. Schools get in trouble if they try to raise you because the parents get offended. And the parents are largely doing what their parents told them. And man, we got a mess going in circles. Right. So I work so much. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
I work so much with people letting go. And I start thinking about this. I've talked about this a year ago, about letting go. Letting go. Oh, it's hard. Letting go. Oh, I can't. Oh, got to let go. Oh. So I started to think, what does it mean when you don't let go? I mean, what are you doing by definition when you don't let go? You're not hanging somewhere. You're not holding some pole. You're not pulling some rope. What are you doing? What you're doing is you're worrying. What you're doing is you're maintaining. What was the phrase you gave it? You had a phrase for it.
Oh, I don't know. Like
you talked about 10 minutes ago.
You're like, you're like hanging on. Mental no contact.
Mental no contact. Exactly.
It's the opposite of mental no contact. What you're doing is hooking yourself onto something else, and then it drives your life. And
we're all walking around with these long conversations with Mr. or Mrs. Invisible. We're telling our ass off.
Well, I mean, what I tell people is like you're having an argument with yourself and a character you've created that isn't even real. It's insane. So how I know this is I've done it so much myself.
Well, we all do, most of us. So that's why it's a magic answer. That's why things don't work when you're in that stupor. When you let it go, it's like, oh my God, I can see again, and the water's fresh in the air. And look, wow, and things start working. That's why the Course in Miracles talks about, Doc? I like to call her Doc. It goes a step further, and the Course in Miracles basis is, its basic prayer is this. It's not, dear God, give me this thing. Dear God, let the Steelers win for once. It's not that. It's, dear God, help me to learn. Help me to release the things that block your essence. Remind me. That's what my reminder is. That's why I have this. It's just a reminder. Help me to unblock the blockages, because when the blocks aren't there, what do you think life is like? What's a little kid like? Why you with a little kid and you just start smiling and everybody loves being with a little kid and everybody just goes, why you think? I'm talking like my dad now, the old Italian. Why you think so, eh? Who else? Who else got a point? Who else got a point? Come on. Don't be chicken. Don't make me do all the work. Come on. Who else got something? Who else got something? I can see Karen's fighting the urge over there because Karen's got so much. I can see. Come on. Come on. I'm trying to unmute you. There.
I've been taking I've had such a total shift. I wish I could explain it. I'm taking a class on energy and how it affects so many different things, and how the energy in our thoughts, how what that does to us. It's not astrologically based. It's been fascinating though to hear the links that they have established on that direction. And because of what I do, I'm I'm things are getting ready to really explode for me.
You are walking right next to Cape Canaveral and you're about to get on board. I've been watching this for years in your chart. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Why? Because you got all your planets here and you got Jupiter at 24 degrees Scorpio. One planet by itself. I've been telling you for years, get ready for it. It's already, you're reporting the subtle influences that it's already doing. You got Jupiter at 24 degrees of Capricorn. I'm sorry, 24 Capricorn. And January 12th, Saturn and Pluto are going to conjoin at 23 degrees. You're going to take off and you're going to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to be afraid of. Now, you should be afraid that if you hadn't been preparing and you hadn't been aware, and you can get judgmental if you want, but I don't think you will. I think it's going to be terrific. It's going to be fabulous. And I think the more you keep notes on what's going on, the better. But it's going to go on a couple years, but it's starting to move quickly because Saturn's moving fast. Pluto's starting to move. And when those two planets join on your Jupiter, well, Jupiter Capricorn. Jupiter is how you open up. Do you go forward easily? Is it a struggle? Do you open up very cautiously? Do you open up too easily? Well, Pluto working on that, you're working on all those problems there. Mm-hmm. You're working on all the areas in your Jupiter. Why in the Stuart, he wants to beat his sister up. I know. He wants fat again. I told you not to eat early. Okay. It's going to be marvelous, Karen. I've been with you 15 years. I've been waiting and watching. And that's what the planets do. The planets hit us as symbols that we're ready because that's what the planet is.
I have been
that shoot coming up from your ready soil. Go ahead.
I've been unloading and unloading and unloading, and it's amazing to me. I have work that needs to be done around here, and I know no one, and the few people I've met were totally unreliable. And now all of a sudden I've had two people step up and say, we can do that and we want to do it.
Right. And when Pluto hits your Jupiter, you're going to stop after 15 years of this song. You're going to stop this talk about all these things that need to be done. All this Virgo part of you, all these things you got to do. And you're going to stop talking about it and you're going to start being it.
Okay.
And it's going to be effortless and it's going to be wonderful. And that's why I'm really encouraging you to take notes as much as you can as it approaches, because these things are priceless. I mean, if I had any brains at all, I'd have kept notes on what was going on for the past 42 years, but I was very sloppy about it and lazy. Anyhow, thank you, Karen. Marcia, bud, let me get your button there. Go ahead.
I had a marvelous thing happen the other day.
All right.
In a yoga class. And I've had a very tight back all summer. I did too much heavy lifting in my new house, working outside in the yard. And I joined this new yoga class, and I just didn't think my back would be able to handle it. Taking Epsom salts before the bath and at the class, and Epsom salts after the bath, anything just to loosen myself up. Well, the yoga teacher has been working on extending the spine backwards. A lot of that. A lot of cobra, a lot of back extensions. And I kept thinking, oh my God, I don't think I can take it. You know, telling myself I couldn't, right? But the other day in class, we did stretches and then more complicated back stretches, different things, the bow and different things. And then we went back to the cobra after doing it like 4 times. And I just had like, it was effortless.
Oh, right.
A
That's
real
fabulous.
breakthrough.
That's fabulous. And this book by Louise Hayes talks about the lower back being the problem with the lower back is feeling financial stress. It's also feeling the weight of the world on you, which is why I got upstairs. I got an upside down machine, an inversion table. But you got to be ready because you can get stuck on there. You can't get off. Well, that's marvelous, Marcia.
Yeah, it felt really a real clear, strong opening. Not just physically, but there was something else going on too. Not just a physical opening, but there was a real energetic opening.
That's fabulous. It's coming from a massage specialist. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. Okay, now you can all see, as we're running out of time here, you can all see that not only we're working as a group, this thing is happening that we keep watching 3 years now, but Saturn and Pluto are conjoining on January 12th. And when they come together, it's the beginning. It's the planting of a new seed. And when we read what Linda Hill wrote about that degree, it's about, okay, you got to start forgetting the physical and start planting your seeds spiritually. And that's a Saturn and Pluto's conjuncting for all of Earth, all of us. That's another 250-year cycle or more. So it's really good to see, and we're very lucky that we have each other. And so we'll say goodnight. Hi there down in the home box. I feel like I'm watching, what was the old new Hollywood Squares? I'll take Doc to block. So we'll be conjoined for the rest of our life. Will it be conjoined for the rest of our life? No, but the birth of that flower, the birth of that new archetypal collective flower will be with us for a long time, just as all the past conjunctions were. And when it bursts, it's going to be very painful, just like all births are. And it's going to be very stern, which Saturn and Pluto are. But there will be good things from it too. In other words, the Saturn and Pluto in the past have been giving us all of the institutions falling apart. Well, now it's time to start planting the new ones. Well, we got to plant them correctly. We can't plant them with Monsanto anywhere near the block when we're doing it. Get out, Monsanto. Get out. So anyhow, blessings to all of you. Blessings to the doctor. And love to all of you. And let's have the doc tonight. We'll do something different because I'm really good with surprises. So let's have the doc say a good night little something for us.
Oh, great. Oh, my love, my pleasure. Yes. Oh, yeah. We have received these words tonight, and in unity and relationship, we got it right here at Hollywood Squares, and we are one, and we are creating the new by accepting and relating in these new ways that allows all things. And when love's all you want to see, love is all you're going to see.
Wonderful. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you. Love
See you
y'all.
next week. Thanks, everybody. Very good.